You know, whenever you're at a huge concert, a seamless hybrid meeting, or even in a killer home cinema, have you ever stopped to think about what makes it all work? Well, behind every single one of those experiences is the powerful and often invisible professional audiovisual industry. So today, let's dive into the tech and the key players that are shaping these incredible environments right here in Malaysia.
Okay, so on the biggest possible scale, professional AV is the absolute backbone for global events. We're talking massive concerts, huge conventions, and big-time product launches. Companies like AV Solutions, they're right on the front lines, providing those towering LED screens, the booming sound systems, and all the complex lighting that makes these amazing temporary spectacles even possible.
But hey, it's not all about rock concerts. In today's work environment, AV is basically the glue holding hybrid teams together. Think about it. It's the crystal clear video conferencing in the boardroom, those interactive displays you use for collaboration, and the unified platforms that keep massive companies connected across the globe. This is a huge focus for integrators like Convergent, who specialize in blending AV with all sorts of other workplace tech.
And then you've got the really high-end, custom side of the industry. This is where AV truly becomes an art form. We're talking luxury private cinemas that are engineered for perfect acoustics, or reference-grade hi-fi systems that honestly make you feel like the musician is in the room with you. This is the world of specialists, like AV Intelligence, who design these one-of-a-kind permanent installations from the ground up.
So how do we make sense of this pretty diverse market? Well, it might seem fragmented at first, but we can actually map the whole landscape by understanding three key archetypes of AV providers. Let's break them down.
All right, first up, we have the event specialist. These are the absolute experts in temporary, high-impact AV. Their whole world is about setting up and tearing down incredible audio-visual experiences for live events, exhibitions, and corporate functions that, might only last for a few hours or a couple of days. A perfect example of this is AV Solutions Integrated. With more than 20 years of experience, they're a super trusted local provider. They specialize in renting and managing all the gear you need for concerts, trade shows, and those big corporate galas. So here's the key. If your need is temporary, but the impact needs to be huge, this is exactly the type of partner you're looking for.
Next, we have a totally different beast, the bespoke engineer. Now, these are not rental companies. These are engineering-led firms that custom design and permanently install high-performance systems. They're thinking about the entire ecosystem, from the room's acoustics to the building's architecture.
AV Intelligence absolutely lives and breathes this stuff. They provide the whole solution, starting with things like acoustic modeling and network planning, all the way to the final system calibration. It's that engineering discipline that's crucial for projects like a luxury home cinema or a commercial venue where long-term performance and rock-solid reliability are everything.
Okay, our third archetype, they operate on a massive scale. The global systems integrator handles those really complex enterprise-level projects. And they don't just do AV. They integrate it with security, with IT infrastructure, and all sorts of other workplace technologies for their huge, often multinational clients.
What's really wild here is just the sheer scale. A company like Convergent brings global reach to the table. We're talking nearly $50 million in regional revenue and a huge workforce. They are literally built to service massive enterprise customers who need standardized solutions rolled out across dozens or maybe even hundreds of locations.
So, we've got our three types of players, but here's the thing. All of them, whether they're setting up for a one-night concert or wiring a skyscraper, are dealing with this massive technological shift that is fundamentally changing the very DNA of how AV systems are built.
Honestly, the best way to think about this is like the jump from old landline phones to something like Zoom. With old-school AV, every single connection, say from a laptop to a projector, needed its own dedicated cable. It was rigid, clunky, and so hard to scale. But the new way, AV over IP, just sends everything over the computer network you probably already have. It's a game changer.
So what is AV over IP or AVO IP? Well, simply put, it's a technology that turns your audio and video signals into data packets that can just zip across a standard computer network. And this unlocks incredible flexibility. It means you can send any video source to any screen, anywhere on that network.
The process itself is actually pretty simple when you break it down. An encoder grabs the signal from your source, like a camera or a media player, and chops it up into network data. Those little data packets travel through your standard network switches. Then a decoder at the other end, your screen or speaker system, puts all the packets back together into perfect, high-quality audio and video. Simple as that.
And let me tell you, the benefits here are huge. AVIP systems are incredibly scalable. You just add another box to the network to expand. Integration is way simpler because you're using standard IT gear. The performance is top tier, supporting 4K and even 8K video. And you get to control your entire AV world from one central spot. This is exactly why it's becoming the new gold standard.
Okay, so what does this whole network revolution actually look like in the real world? What kinds of cool new experiences does it make possible?
Let's circle back to our players. When a company like AB Solutions says your vision, our technology, well, AB OIP is what lets them build that vision. It lets them create massive, perfectly synchronized video walls at an event, or a whole network of digital signs across a convention center, all managed and updated instantly from one laptop.
And for an engineering-led provider like AVIP Intelligence, Avo IP is the very backbone of their total solution. It's how they build a sophisticated smart home, where your multi-room audio, your 4K video, your lighting, and your security are all seamlessly woven together and controlled on one single unified network.
This tech is powering the most demanding modern spaces you can imagine. From hybrid boardrooms where video conferencing has to be absolutely flawless, to smart training rooms for hybrid learning, all the way to mission-critical command centers, where dozens of real-time data feeds are being visualized on massive video walls. It's everywhere.
Okay, so we've mapped out the players and we get the core technology. Let's bring it all together into a practical guide. How do you actually apply all this to make a smart choice for your own project?
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Choosing an AV partner can feel pretty complex, but if we break it down, it gets a lot easier to find the perfect fit.
Here are the crucial questions you have to ask yourself. First, scope. Is this a temporary event or a permanent installation? That right there points you toward either an event specialist or a bespoke engineer. Second, expertise. Do you need deep engineering and design, or are you looking for expert equipment rental and operation? Third, scale. Are we talking about a single high-end room or a standardized solution for a giant enterprise? And finally, future-proofing. Is the system they're proposing built on a scalable, network-based AVoIP architecture? That last one's a biggie.
So what's the bottom line? Look, there is no single best AV provider. There's only the one that is best for you. Understanding this market landscape, the players, the tech, and what you really need, that's what empowers you to pick a provider who becomes a true partner, one that's perfectly aligned with your project scope, its scale, and your long-term vision.
At the end of the day, this technology is so much more than just cables and screens. It's a toolkit for creating incredible experiences. And as our physical and digital worlds continue to merge in more and more amazing ways, the only real question left is, what experience will you create next?